Hello grade 8 learner, welcome to another video lesson in mathematics. In this video lesson, we will be discussing how to factor perfect square trinomials. As you progress in your lessons in math, you will find out that this special type of trinomials are commonly used, so knowing how to factor them will definitely come in handy. So prepare your pen, paper, and module as you start watching and learning from this video lesson. Happy learning! This lesson is based on the K-12 curriculum learning competency. The learner factors different types of polynomials. By the end of this lesson, you, the learner, should be able to identify perfect square trinomials, follow the steps in factoring perfect square trinomials, and apply the steps in factoring perfect square trinomials on the expressions given. Let's begin with the lesson. In the previous lessons, we have been factoring binomials. For today's lesson, we will be factoring trinomials. Let's define what a trinomial is. A trinomial is a type of polynomial which has three terms, separated by a plus or a minus sign. Take a look at the following examples of trinomials. For this lesson, we will be factoring perfect square trinomials, which you can abbreviate as PST. A perfect square trinomial is a special type of trinomial which has the following characteristics. First, the polynomial is a trinomial. Secondly, the first and last terms of the trinomial are positive and are perfect squares. And lastly, if you multiply the roots of the first and last terms, then multiply that answer again by 2, the final answer should be equal to the middle term. To factor out perfect square trinomials, we follow the following patterns. If the trinomial has the form x squared plus 2xy plus y squared, then the factors are the quantity x plus y squared. If the trinomial is of the form x squared minus 2xy plus y squared, then the resulting factors are the quantity x minus y squared. In short, the factors of a perfect square trinomial are the square of a binomial. If you want to know which sign to use for the binomial factors, then you only have to take a look at the sign of the second term in the trinomial. To factor out perfect square trinomials, we follow these steps. For example, we factor out x squared plus 12x plus 36. The first step we take is to check if the polynomial has the characteristics of a perfect square trinomial. First, we check if the polynomial we are solving is a trinomial. As we can see, the polynomial has 1, 2, 3 terms. Therefore, we say that the polynomial is a trinomial. Second, we have to check if the first and last terms are perfect squares. We do that by getting the square roots of the terms x squared and 36. For x squared, we get a root of x since x squared is equal to x times x. We confirm that it is a perfect square. 36 has a root of 6 since 36 is equal to 6 times 6, which also makes it a perfect square. Therefore, we confirm that both last and first terms are perfect squares. The last thing that we have to check in our trinomial is the middle term, which should be a product of twice the roots of the terms. In our polynomial, our middle term is equal to 12. To satisfy the condition, we multiply 2 by x by 6. Since the result of that operation is equal to 12x and our middle term is 12x, we confirm that the middle term of the trinomial is a product of twice the square roots of the terms. Since all the conditions are met by the polynomial that we are given, we can say that the polynomial is a perfect square trinomial. Now that we know that we are solving for the factors of a perfect square trinomial, we follow the pattern for the factors of perfect square trinomials. Given the PST, x squared plus 12x plus 36, we are going to use the square root of the first term, here represented by x, and the square root of the second term, represented by y, as the first and last terms of the binomial factors. And since the second term in our PST uses a plus sign, then the sign in our binomial factor would also be plus. Therefore, the factors of x squared plus 12x plus 36 is the quantity x plus 6 squared. The last step we make in factoring the PST is to check if our factors are correct. The square of a binomial can be rewritten as a product of the binomial times itself. So here, we rewrote the quantity x plus 6 squared as the quantity x plus 6 times the quantity x plus 6. Remember that when multiplying binomials, we can use either distributive property or the FOIL method. Whatever method you use to multiply the factors, here you can see that you will get a trinomial which is the same as the given. That confirms that our answer is correct. Let's see another example. Factor out 25a squared minus 40ab plus 16b squared. So first, we check if the polynomial is a perfect square trinomial. Is the polynomial a trinomial? We can see that it is. Are the first and last terms perfect squares? Yes, they are. And finally, is the middle term equal to twice the product of the roots of the terms? By doing a little bit of solving, we know that the answer is yes. After confirming that the given polynomial is a PST, we follow the pattern for the factors of the PST. Given our trinomial, and using the square roots of the first and last terms to substitute for x and y, the factors of the trinomial 25a squared minus 40ab plus 16b squared is the quantity 5a minus 4b squared. Lastly, we check our answers by multiplying the factors to confirm that our factors are correct. So we rewrite the quantity 5a minus 4b squared into its expanded form, the quantity 5a minus 4b times 5a minus 4b. Looking at the solutions when we multiplied our factors, we can see that their product is equal to the given polynomial, and this means that our answer is correct. Before we end this lesson then, practice what you have learned. Factor out the trinomial 4x squared minus 12xy plus 9y squared. Pause this video for a while and solve before proceeding to the answer. Done? If your answer is the quantity 2x minus 3y squared, your answer is correct. Take a look at the solution to confirm your answer. And that's the end of the video lesson. Good job! We hope that we've made this lesson easier for you. As Mortimer Adler said, the purpose of learning is growth, and our minds, unlike our bodies, can continue growing as we continue to live. Continue growing your minds, dear learners, and we'll see you again in the next video lesson.